for you. Your boss cannot make it for you. This is a decision that only you can make. When you commit to improving yourself every day, something powerful starts to happen. You begin to see yourself differently. You begin to carry yourself differently. You begin to attract different opportunities and different people into your life. It is like you are sending a signal out to the universe that says, I am ready for more. And the universe responds. Doors start opening that you did not even know existed. Possibilities start appearing that you could not have imagined before. All because you decided to grow. I have seen too many people sit on the sidelines of their own lives waiting for everything to line up perfectly. They say things like, I will start when I have more money. I will start when I have more time. I will start when the kids are older. I will start when the economy gets better. Let me tell you something. The perfect moment is a myth. It is a lie we tell ourselves to justify our fear. It is a story we create to make ourselves feel better about not taking action. But deep down, we know the truth. The only moment you have is right now. This moment right here. And if you do not use it, it is gone forever. You cannot get back yesterday. You cannot reach into the future and grab tomorrow. All you have is this present moment. And what you do with it determines everything. Every second you spend waiting for the perfect conditions is a second you will never get back. Time is the one resource you cannot earn more of. Once it is gone, it is gone. Think about all the dreams that have died in the waiting room of someday. How many businesses never got started because someone was waiting for the perfect moment? How many books never got written because someone was waiting until they had more time? How many relationships never flourished because someone was waiting until they were more ready? The cemetery is full of unfulfilled potential, full of ideas that never saw the light of day, full of gifts that were never shared with the world. The conditions will never be perfect. There will always be something that is not quite right. There will always be an obstacle. There will always be a reason to wait. But successful people understand that you do not wait for perfect conditions. You create momentum in imperfect conditions. You start before you are ready. You figure it out as you go. That is how things get done. That is how dreams become reality. You have to understand that action creates clarity. Most people think they have everything figured out before they start. But that is backwards. You gain clarity by moving, you learn by doing. The answers you are looking for will not come from sitting and thinking about it. They will come from getting the game and experiencing it firsthand. You cannot steer a parked car. You have to be moving first. So whatever it is that you have been putting off, I am challenging you to start today, not tomorrow, not next week, not next month, today. It does not have to be a big start. It just has to be a start. Send that email, make that phone call, write that first page, take that first step. The perfect moment you are waiting for is the moment you decide to stop waiting and start doing. I know some of you are carrying around baggage from years ago. Maybe you made some mistakes. Maybe you failed at something. Maybe people told you that you were not good enough. Maybe you grew up in circumstances that were less than ideal. Maybe you have been through things that nobody else knows about. I understand that. I really do. Life has a way of leaving scars on all of us. But here is what I need you to understand. Your past is nothing but a lesson. It is not a life sentence. Where you came from does not have to dictate where you are going. Every single morning when you open your eyes, you get a fresh start, a brand new beginning, a blank page waiting to be written. What you do with it is entirely up to you. You are not defined by what happened to you. You are defined by how you respond to what happened to you. I have met people who came from the worst circumstances imaginable, and they rose up to achieve incredible things. And I have met people who came from privilege and opportunity, and they squandered every advantage they were given. Your starting point does not determine your ending point. The hand you were dealt is not the hand you have to play forever. You can get new cards. You can change the game entirely. But here is where people get stuck. They keep replaying the past over and over in their minds. They keep telling themselves the same old stories about why they cannot succeed. They let their history become their identity. And as long as you are living in the past, you cannot create a new future. You cannot drive forward while constantly looking in the rearview mirror. At some point, you have to let go of what was so you can grab hold of what could be. Forgiveness is a big part of this. And I am not just talking about forgiving other people. I am talking about forgiving yourself. You have to release yourself from the guilt and shame of past mistakes. You have to stop punishing yourself for things that happened years ago. You have to permit yourself to move on, because if you do not forgive yourself, you will be carrying that weight forever, and that weight will slow you down. Your past can be a teacher, or it can be a prison. The choice is yours. You can look back at your experiences and extract the wisdom from them. Learn what not to do. Learn what to do differently. Use those lessons to make better decisions going forward. Or you can let your past hold you hostage, keep you small, keep you afraid, keep repeating the same cycles over and over again. I am here to tell you that it is never too late to start over. I do not care how old you are. I do not care what you have been through. I do not care how many times you have failed. Today can be the day that everything changes. Today can be the day you decide that your past will no longer control your future. Today can be the day you step into a new chapter of your life and leave the old one behind. People always want the quick fix. They want to lose 50 pounds in a week. They want to become a millionaire overnight. They want success without the struggle. They see someone who has achieved something great, and they want that result without putting in the work that created that result. But that is not how lasting change happens. That is not how real transformation occurs. Shortcuts might get you somewhere fast, but they rarely get you somewhere that lasts. Real transformation comes from the small things you do consistently over time. Reading 10 pages of a book every day. Waking up 30 minutes earlier to work on your dream. Choosing to speak kindly to yourself instead of tearing yourself down. Drinking more water. Moving your body. Saving a little bit of money each week. These things do not seem like much in the moment. They do not feel significant. They do not give you that instant gratification that we all crave. But here is the secret that successful people understand. Small actions compound over time. They build on each other. They stack up. And before you know it, you have become a completely different person. Not because of one big dramatic change, but because of hundreds and thousands of tiny choices made day after day after day. That is the power of consistency. That is the power of small steps. Think about it like this. If you read just 10 pages a day, that is about 350 pages a year. That is roughly 18 books in a year. 18 books of knowledge, wisdom, and growth, just from 10 pages a day. Something that takes maybe 15 or 20 minutes. And after 5 years, that is 90 books. After 10 years, that is 180 books. You would be an entirely different person with entirely different perspective on life. The same principle applies to everything. If you work out for just 30 minutes a day, after a year, you will have spent over 180 hours developing your body. If you save just $10 a day, after a year you will have over $3,000. If you spend just 1 hour a day working on your dream, after a year you will have invested over 360 hours into building something meaningful. Small steps add up to massive results. The problem is that most people give up because they do not see immediate results. They want the transformation to happen overnight. And when it does not, they quit. They go back to their old ways. They convince themselves that it was not working, but they were planting seeds that had not sprouted yet. They were building a foundation that was not visible above ground. Success is often invisible before it becomes visible. So I want you to stop looking for the big breakthrough and start focusing on the daily process. Fall in love with the small steps. Embrace the boring work. Show up every single day and do the little things that most people are not willing to do. Because those little things are not little at all. They are the building blocks of the life you are trying to create. They are the compound interest that will pay off in ways you cannot even imagine right now. Let me be real with you for a second. There will be times in your life when the people closest to you will not understand your vision. They will not see what you see. They will look at you like you are crazy. They will question your decisions. They will tell you to be realistic. They will encourage you to play it safe. And that can be painful. It hurts when the people you love do not support your dreams. But here is what you need to understand. Their lack of belief in you has nothing to do with your actual potential. It has everything to do with their own limitations. People can only see as far as their own experiences allow them to see. If they have never accomplished what you are trying to accomplish, they cannot visualize it for you. They are not being malicious. They are just operating from their own limited perspective. You do not need their approval. You do not need their permission. The only belief that truly matters is the belief you have in yourself. If you do not believe in your own dream, why would anyone else? You have to be your own biggest fan. You have to be your own cheerleader. You have to be the one who keeps going when everyone else has given up on you. That is what separates the people who make it from the people who do not. Self-belief is not arrogance. It is not about thinking you are better than everyone else. It is about recognizing that there is something inside of you worth fighting for. It is about understanding that you have gifts and talents that the world needs. It is about refusing to let other people's opinions become your reality. You know what you are capable of. You know what burns inside your heart. Hold on to that. When you truly believe in yourself, you carry yourself differently. You speak differently. You make decisions differently. You take risks that you never would have taken before. Because you know deep in your core that even if you fail, you will find a way to get back up. Self-belief is not about being certain that you will succeed. It is about being certain that you can handle whatever comes your way. So start building that belief in yourself today. Remind yourself of the obstacles you have already overcome. Remind yourself of the times when you thought you could not make it, but you did. Remind yourself that you are still here, still standing, still fighting. That is proof of your strength. That is evidence of your resilience. Use that as fuel to keep believing in yourself, even when nobody else does. Fear has stolen more dreams than failure ever will. Think about all the things you have not done because you were afraid. Afraid of rejection, afraid of embarrassment, afraid of what people might say, afraid of losing money, afraid of wasting time, afraid of looking foolish. Fear whispers in your ear and tells you all the reasons why you should not even try. And too many people listen to that voice. But here is the truth about fear. Most of the things you are afraid of will never happen. Studies show that the vast majority of our fears never come true. We spend all this time and energy worrying about things that never materialize. We let imaginary scenarios control our real lives. We give power to possibilities that exist only in our minds. That is not a good use of your mental and emotional resources. And even when your fears do come true, even when the thing you were afraid of actually happens, you are strong enough to handle it. You have survived everything life has thrown at you so far, and you are still standing. Think about the worst things you have been through. The heartbreaks, the losses, the failures, the disappointments. You made it through all of them. You are tougher than you give yourself credit for. Fear tells you that you are not ready. Fear tells you that you need more preparation. Fear tells you to wait until you feel confident. But confidence does not come before action. Confidence comes from action. You become confident by doing the thing you are afraid of, not by waiting until you are no longer afraid. The fear may never completely go away. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is taking action despite fear. You have to start seeing fear for what it really is. It is just a feeling. It is not a fact. It does not know the future. It cannot predict what will happen. It is simply your brain trying to protect you from perceived danger. But most of the things you want in life require you to step into uncomfortable territory. If you only do things that feel safe, you will never grow. You will never discover what you are truly capable of. So the next time fear shows up, and it will show up, I want you to thank it for trying to protect you. Acknowledge that it is there. And then do the thing anyway. Leap. Make the call. Send the message. Apply for the position. Start the business. Have the conversation. Stop letting fear run your life and start running toward the things that scare you. One of the hardest things to do is to look in the mirror and be honest with yourself, to admit your weaknesses, to acknowledge the areas where you need to grow, to face the parts of yourself that you would rather ignore. It is uncomfortable. It is painful. It requires a level of vulnerability that most people are not willing to embrace. But this kind of honest self-assessment is essential for growth. You cannot fix what you will not face. You cannot improve what you refuse to acknowledge. If you keep pretending that everything is fine when it is not, you will stay stuck in the same patterns forever. The first step to change is always awareness. You have to see the problem clearly before you can solve it. You have to admit where you are before you can get to where you want to be. I am talking about asking yourself the tough questions. Where am I falling short? What habits are holding me back? What am I avoiding? What patterns keep showing up in my life? What areas of my character need work? What skills do I need to develop? What relationships are draining me? What lies have I been telling myself? These questions are not fun to ask, but the answers will set you free. Most people live in denial because the truth is uncomfortable. They blame external circumstances for their problems instead of looking inward. They point fingers at other people instead of taking responsibility for their own lives. They distract themselves with entertainment and business so they do not have to sit with their own thoughts. But running from the truth does not make it go away. It just delays the inevitable reckoning. When you get honest with yourself, something shifts. The walls start coming down. The defenses start dropping, and real change becomes possible. Because now you are not fighting against yourself anymore. You are not trying to protect an image that is not real. You are just being authentic about where you are and what you need to work on. And that kind of honesty is the foundation of all genuine growth. This requires humility. It requires setting aside your ego and admitting that you do not have it all figured out. Nobody does. We are all works in progress. We all have areas where we need to improve. Pretending otherwise does not make you look strong. It actually makes you weak because you are living a lie. True strength is being able to say, I have weaknesses and I am working on them. So take some time for honest reflection. Journal about your life. Seek feedback from people you trust. Pay attention to the patterns that keep showing up. Notice the areas where you keep stumbling. And instead of making excuses or getting defensive, get curious. Ask yourself what this is trying to teach you. Every weakness is an opportunity for growth if you are willing to face it head on. I need you to take inventory of your circle. Look at the 5 people you spend the most time with, and I will show you your future. This is not just some clever saying. There is real truth to it. The people you surround yourself with have a profound influence on who you become, their attitudes, their habits, their beliefs, their energy. All of it seeps into you whether you realize it or not. If you are surrounded by people who are negative, unmotivated, and comfortable with mediocrity, that energy will rub off on you. You will start to adopt their mindset. You will start to lower your standards. You will start to believe that settling is acceptable. It happens gradually, so slowly that you do not even notice it. But over time, you become a reflection of the people you spend the most time with. On the other hand, if you surround yourself with people who are ambitious, positive, and committed to growth, that energy will elevate you. You will be inspired to reach higher. You will be challenged to do better. You will be encouraged to keep going when things get tough. The right circle can be the difference between reaching your potential and falling short of it. This means you have to be intentional about who you allow into your life. Not every